Whoopi Goldberg has gotten viewers talking quite a bit over the years with shares she's made on The View. Recently, the co-host shared a past involving drug addiction. Notably, the conversation involved a prominent Hollywood family. The View's co-hosts talked about a recent interview during the show. Goldberg is best known to many as an actress and a comedian. This includes appearances in films like Ghost Sister Act, The Color Purple, and The Lion King. Since 2007, Goldberg has also established herself as a television personality as a co-host on The View. Throughout her time on the show, Goldberg often makes admissions about her own life while discussing current events. Whoopi Goldberg. During a recent episode, actor Charlie Sheen became the topic of a heated discussion. On the September 10th episode, the co-host disagreed with Charlie's father, actor Martin Sheen, and his decision to turn his son in for a probation violation following a drug overdose. Charlie had discussed the story on Good Morning America earlier this week. At the time, he called it the biggest betrayal you could possibly endure. Later, he shared he saw it as love eventually. After airing the clip from the interview, Goldberg commented, "In his condition, of course, he saw it as a betrayal." She then asked the others at the table if they saw it as a betrayal. Joy Behar disagreed with Martin's actions. As she explained, "In my view, as an Italian mother, you do not turn your children in. Especially if they have a drug problem or a mental health problem, you send them to a shrink or the hospital. You don't call the police. Martin Sheen made a big mistake. Your child is suffering, they have an illness, you do not send them to jail. Sorry." The co-hosts continued to debate Martin Sheen's actions. Sarah Haynes was a bit more sympathetic, sharing, "You're not thinking clearly, you're not reasoning. Like he said, I eventually saw it as love. It took him time cleaning up, getting out of it, to actually be able to look at it." She continued, "I don't call it tough love, I call it love," noting that some parents can enable their kids by burying the bodies. Behar reiterated, "You don't send your children to jail, you call the doctor." Sunny Hostin added, "I'm with you, Joy. Sorry, I'm with you. This Afro-Latin mother would never." Charlie Sheen. The conversation continued with Haynes noting her concerns over enabling. Goldberg then chimed in, "I'm sorry, I'm going to shut this down right now. I'm going to shut this down." This caused Behar to joke that she was getting scared. Goldberg added, "Well, you should be, because if you don't think they did everything, when I tell you they did everything to get him straight." Noting it was the last straw, Goldberg added, because there was nothing left. And what they didn't want, and thank God it didn't happen, is they didn't want him to die on the street. So that's why that went down. But every family has to handle this differently because every addiction is different. The conversation took a turn with Goldberg, sharing her own past. Hostin commented that Goldberg was close to the story as she knew the family. For her part, Goldberg felt, "Well, I'm closer to it because having been an addict, I understand an addict's way of thinking. We can BS you like nobody's business. I'm going to get clean, I'm never going to do this again." And the next thing you know, your parent or the person that loves you is like, "Oh my God, what am I going to do?" Whoopi Goldberg. Goldberg noted that people think that money can fix problems, but she didn't agree. She also had a few words in response to one of her co-hosts. Turning to Behar, she noted, "Enjoy. If I was your child, I would appreciate that you didn't turn me in. But then you would be pissed at me because I would go behind your back and do something dumb. Because that's what addicts do." What is your reaction to this recent conversation on The View? What do you think of Goldberg's recent admission? Make sure you come back to TV shows Ace for all the latest TV and celebrity news. In a recent episode of The View aired on September 10th, 2025, co-host Whoopi Goldberg ignited a passionate discussion that resonated with viewers, diving into the complexities of addiction, family loyalty, and tough love. The conversation centered around actor Charlie Sheen's public reflections on his struggles with addiction and his father Martin Sheen's controversial decision to turn him in for a probation violation revealed deep personal insights from Goldberg and sparked a lively debate among the co-hosts. This exchange not only highlighted the emotional weight of addiction, but also showcased Goldberg's own past experiences, offering a raw and relatable perspective. The Sheen family story takes center stage. The discussion was prompted by a recent Good Morning America interview, where Charlie Sheen reflected on a pivotal moment in his life. His father, acclaimed actor Martin Sheen, reported him for a probation violation following a drug overdose. Charlie described the act as the biggest betrayal you could possibly endure at the time, though he later came to see it as an act of love. The clip from the interview set the stage for a fiery debate on The View, with the co-hosts grappling with the moral and emotional implications of Martin's decision. Whoopi Goldberg, a co-host on The View since 2007, and known for her roles in iconic films like Ghost Sister Act, The Color Purple, and The Lion King, opened the discussion by questioning whether the co-host viewed Martin's actions as a betrayal. Her perspective was informed by her own experiences, which she later revealed, adding depth to the conversation. A clash of perspectives on family and addiction. The co-host's opinions were sharply divided. Joy Behar, drawing on her perspective as an Italian mother, passionately argued against turning in a child struggling with addiction. "You do not turn your children in," Behar stated emphatically. "Especially if they have a drug problem or a mental health problem, you send them to a shrink or the hospital. You don't call the police." Martin Sheen made a big mistake. "Your child is suffering, they have an illness, you do not send them to jail, sorry." Behar's stance resonated with co-host Sunny Hostin, who echoed her sentiments, saying, "This Afro-Latina mother would never." In contrast, Sarah Haynes offered a more sympathetic view of Martin Sheen's decision, framing it as an act of love rather than betrayal. "You're not thinking clearly, you're not reasoning," Haynes explained, referencing Charlie's eventual realization that his father's actions were rooted in care. "I don't call it tough love, I call it love," she added, warning against enabling destructive behavior by burying the bodies. Haynes emphasized that enabling can sometimes perpetuate an addict's harmful patterns, a point that sparked further debate. Behar doubled down, insisting, "You don't send your children to jail, you call the doctor." The back and forth grew heated until Goldberg intervened decisively, shutting down the discussion. "I'm sorry, I'm going to shut this down right now," she declared, prompting Behar to jokingly remark that she was getting scared. Goldberg's tone was firm but heartfelt as she explained, "They did everything to get him straight. It was the last straw. They didn't want him to die on the street. That's why that went down." She emphasized that every family and every addiction is unique, requiring tailored approaches to navigate the crisis. As the conversation continues to ripple through media and public discourse, it serves as a reminder of the complexities of addiction and the delicate balance families must strike between love, protection, and accountability. For those seeking more insights, The View remains a vital platform for these discussions, and Goldberg's voice continues to be a powerful force in shaping them. Stay tuned to The View for more thought-provoking conversations, and check back with TV Shows Ace for the latest in TV and celebrity news.